Skylum are very close to releasing what looks to be one of their biggest upgrades in a long time, and amongst that there are several new tools. Well, in this video I'm excited for us to take a world's first look at the restoration tool. Skylum have given me 178 before and after examples where we have old images in need of restoration. They've applied the tool to them and we can compare where they came from, where they got to, look at whether it's right for you, and if you decide it is, what you need to do to actually get hold of it with this new upgrade. Okay, let's take a look at some of the examples. So I've just dumped all of these photos straight into Luminar Neo in an album so that we can just have a little flick through and get an idea what's going on with this tool. And at a glance, you can see that it's actually doing quite a lot for us. Not only do we have colorization from an original photo into the restored version, but there's also an awful lot going on here as well. To retouch this kind of image degradation would take a really long time with the clone tool, generative arrays, whatever approach you took, it's going to take ages. So the fact that there's a tool that's going to be able to do that automated for us is potentially a big game changer. If you're someone who has a lot of historical records, family photos, old things like that you want to get restored, then this is going to be really worthwhile getting hold of. But there are limitations with it, as good as it is. So for example, this looks like a really good cleanup here. You've got paper folds going on, torn paper, all of that. And the version that they've been able to create with Luminar Neo's new tool, it's just night and day. It's not perfect, and no old photo is ever going to be really perfect because they weren't captured with the same sort of level of optics and cameras that we are privileged to use today. But in terms of a cleanup on that, it's pretty good. I mean, look at this guy here. We've got color fading going on down in the bottom right. We've got folds within the print paper itself across his face, and there's little speckly marks over on the left-hand side as well. And if I just press right on the arrow key, you can see the retouched version, and I'm very, very impressed with that. Now, one thing that did concern me when I started flicking through these was actually the size of the photos themselves. So if I just open one up here, you can see that this original scanned photo measures in at 1738 by 2316. So not a huge photo, but it's relatively large. But the version that I was supplied by Skylum, if we look at that, that is a reduced size that we have here. And I kept seeing that pattern through all of the different examples. So for example, we have a nice big photo here, and then the retouched version that I have access to is much smaller. And so I started to get a bit concerned that maybe that was the way that the tool behaves. It's going to be limited to a maximum resolution, a little bit like the generative tools are, because of course this is using generative AI technology to actually retouch these photos. So let's have a look at this one that looks freakishly like my friend's dad. But yeah, it's a really nice cleanup. The color retouching is very, very nice. It's got rid of that classic red tinting that goes on with photos. And I'm just thinking about this in terms of architectural photography, actually, because often we get color casts on the walls from interior lighting. And it's got me just wondering whether this tool could actually double up as a white balance tool. I'll look into that when I actually get my hands on the finished version. But just going back to the issue of resolution as I flick through some more examples here, and hopefully you can get a little bit of a feel for exactly what this tool is doing just by having a little look. As I come to some of these photos here by Getty Images, which are a much larger base resolution, if I go to the next version, which has been edited with Luminar's new tool, you can see that the resolution is still high. So thankfully, I think those smaller versions have been provided and they've just been scaled down for marketing purposes. So this one's another example where we're starting with a higher resolution and we maintain that high resolution in the finished output. And in terms of where we came from with this very ready magenta version of this photo, I think this has done a really good job of reintroducing colors into this scene. However, it's not always perfect at recreating those colors. So I did notice that the grass wasn't rendered particularly well in a couple of photos. It made it more of a gray rather than a green, but I'm just struggling to actually find that photo now. So let's have a look at this one. This is a pretty good example. We've had a retouched version. We've had color reintroduced. You can see that in the background, the trees are a lovely rich green. However, what I can only assume is grass that potentially isn't dead grass. It hasn't been rendered particularly green. It's more of a grey yellow. And so the reintroduction of colour isn't always perfect. And I've got a good example to show you exactly what I mean. Check out this guy here. So this photo is called Trio, Young Man with Two Embracing Girls. If you look at his hands, he's certainly embracing something. But if we jump to the color version and actually zoom in, and this is another low resolution version, unfortunately, but I'm going to make the assumption that this has just been downscaled before provided to me. But look over on the right hand side. Can you see his hand here? Focus on the hand, guys. His hand here is actually colored blue. It's almost as if the AI has recognized the top here and put some blue coloring into that, but it's almost as if it was unable to distinguish the fact that his hand is here and that his hand should be skin colored and not colored with the blue. So let's jump out of that photo because that guy looks like he's a little preoccupied with what he's up to, and let's find another one where I also saw an issue. And just as I pass by, although this isn't an issue of color, if you notice in this photo, as we flick to the restored version, you'll notice that it's done a pretty good job of cleaning everything up. However, the smear in the sky that it's got rid of, which is great, unfortunately, it hasn't filled that with a nice sky blue. It's kind of just removed it. And so I would say that this photo is improved, but I certainly wouldn't say that it has been restored. But we can always do a little bit of extra work just to finish that off if that's what we want to do. As I continue to hunt down the photo with the color anomaly, I just wanted to show you this kind of street scene. If we go from before to after, this is the kind of scene that from a glance, it actually does a really nice job of introducing more natural colors back into the photo. So I'd be pretty happy with that. But if we look at these guys in the background over here, you can see that this lady's face and this guy as well, they're kind of discolored. So like I say, it's not perfect, but we do need to bear in mind that these are initial sample test images that I've been provided. We don't even have a working beta from this tool yet. So these kind of results may well get further improved as the AI algorithm gets trained on more input. Here is a good example of where the AI can get confused and recolor the photo incorrectly. If we look at the arm of this lady here and we flick to the color version, you can see that her arm has gone blue. So the only thing that I can think is going on here is as the AI is coloring this photo, it's assessing the human form and somehow it's got confused over the clothing and the sleeve on one side versus the other. So again, perhaps this is something that will get ironed out as the AI model improves. And we also have something similar going on with her foot here. It's very possible that the AI has got confused and thinks that this is actually a shoe rather than a foot, or it could just be that the sun is highlighting her foot and it didn't recolor it. But in any case, I think I would prefer to see a little bit more skin color in the foot there. I'm certainly not wanting to pull this tool apart at the moment because I'm actually really impressed with what it is doing for us, but I do want to just make you guys aware of any potential problems that you could run into. And here's another one. We have this boy here, and because there's a lot of red and magenta in this scene, I think that, again, the AI has got confused when it's tried to recolor it and thinks that the red is actually a cast in the old photo and has corrected for that. And for that reason, it's changed what he's holding here, which is blatantly red, and turned it blue as a result. And we have a similar thing going on here with this photo where we do have some red magenta fading going on, and then the color corrected version has done a pretty good job of an overall white balance correction. However, if we look at the original and look at the girl's dress, you can tell that that is definitely a yellow striped dress, and the AI has completely removed that yellow. But things like that would just be an easy fix with a mask, and I'm fairly confident that Skylum will ship this tool with a mask. But just for normal kind of retouching in terms of color, something like this is quite natural and believable, taken from this to this. But one thing I have noticed is that these restored versions often still lack a bit of contrast. But again, it's going to be such an easy fix to actually sort that out. So many ways to work with contrast inside Luminar Neo, but we could just shift over that black point on the curve. That'd be one way to do it. We can obviously control the highlights with a curve as well. Like I say, many ways to fix a lack of contrast. So I wouldn't let the fact that some of these photos still look a bit faded be any sort of worry to me. So whether it's a pink cast and recoloring that, or whether it's a black and white and we're introducing color as well, overall this tool seems to be doing a really nice job. I'm just going to use my mouse just to flick through some of these as I talk. And as we look at this photo here and go to the restored version, the actual original restoration was one of those kind of bleached out, still faded looking photos. And I just did my own retouch on that. But there's a couple of other things going on here as well. So if I jump back right to the beginning, you can see that I just popped in a little bit of Enhance AI just to boost up that contrast. And like I say, there's many ways to add contrast in Luminar Neo. I then had a little play around with the smart contrast, drop down the highlights. So we're getting a much more punchy version of that restored photo, very simply. But a couple of other things that I just needed to take care of. If you notice up in the top left here, if I hide this layer, this is the version that the restoration tool provided. And I just did a quick color fix. And the way I did that was just by manipulating the color in the curves. So we can actually grab the color channels themselves and actually move those around until we create the color that we're after. So again, that was a pretty quick fix. And then I just painted it in over the bricks. And then I started getting a little bit fussy and decided that I wanted a pure grey concrete. So I desaturated that and painted over there. And then the tree in the top left as well, I felt was not reproduced very well at all. And so I just borrowed some of the leaves from down here and cloned them up to the top there. You know, it took me a couple of minutes just to do this, maybe not even that. So we went from the faded restored version to this. And if we compare that to the kind of 45 minutes that I spent retouching or restoring an old scanned photo in a previous video, this is going to be an absolute time saver for so many people who want to restore old photos. And not just that, but sometimes it's a case of skill set as well. You know, you may not be aware of how to actually remove all of these kind of tears, creases, things like that. So if there's a tool that can quickly do that, I'm really excited by it. So the next question is, how do you get hold of this new tool? Well, it's been released as part of Luminar's Big Fall update, and that's coming out in November. If you want to access this tool, though, you do need to get hold of an upgrade pass. But before you get upset by that, if you're a Luminar Neo perpetual license holder, we need to understand something. So Luminar Neo that you purchased when you bought your license will continue to work in that state forevermore. However, tools like this actually require Skylum servers. So the AI that runs it doesn't run on your machine. When we run this tool, we're calling on Skylum servers and computational power to actually figure out the result, generate the restored version, and send that back to our computer. Obviously, there's a cost to running a service like that. So it's just not feasible for a company to commit to forevermore incurring this ongoing cost. That's why we have to buy upgrade licenses to access this and the other generative tools. But there is good news, because thankfully until the 15th of September, Skylum are running a back to school promotion where the pass for this new restoration tool and the other generative tools as well is just $59. Plus, you can also save more by using my discount code at Neo10 as well. As part of the promotion, if you're also interested in the new ecosystem that combines desktop editing, mobile editing, all of that together, then it's just a little bit more as well. And if you're brand new to Luminar Neo, you can get a cross-device perpetual license, which includes Luminar Neo for your desktop and for your mobile for just $159. Or you can add in their creative library for an extra $20. I'll put links to this in the description below. I do get a small commission out of that, which helps me keep creating this free content. And you get to save a bit of money as well when you use that discount code at Neo10, which will save you 10% off what is already a very good price from Skylum. I hope you've enjoyed this preview of the restoration tool. If you'd like to have a look at another tool that's coming out in November, the volumes tool, why don't you check out that video right there where we take a first look at some examples from that tool. I'll see you in that video. Bye bye for now.